Welcome to Frazlecast. This is episode 6. Welcome to your doom. A podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. Each week we are joined by awesome people around the world of Azeroth and beyond. Today we are joined by Jer and Lady Emma.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me back on.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Deceiver was hopefully going to be on tonight, but unless he appears in like he did the last episode, he's still off fighting the evil mages, which he thinks my mage is the one that's attacking him. But no, I've not attacked him. I don't think.
Or at least you're not going to tell him.
True. Yeah, that is true. But how's your week been?
Mine's been going really good, actually. As far as in WoW is concerned, last night I was happy. I finally got on my Fury Warrior. I've had all the legendaries that I can get, so the only two I needed were the new ones that came out with 725, and I pulled the Valajar. What are they called? The I can't remember. It's the leg legendaries. Okay. So we pulled that last night.
Nice.
And then other than that, actually, I was listening to one of your other Frazlecast episodes, and I think it was Emma&nbsp were talking about playing a Warlock.
Yes.
So
My
that
name's a Warlock.
Okay. Yeah, so hearing you guys talk about that, like everything you were bringing up, I'm like, that sounds cool. That sounds like fun. I was like, maybe I should give my Warlock a try, because I actually boosted. I used my Legion boost on a Warlock. I'm like the perfect customer for, well, not just Blizzard, but for anybody, because I'm very impulsive and I'll buy things right away. So as soon as they announced Legion, I bought it, got the boost, and I think right away they announced what the artifacts were going to be. So when I saw the floating skull for the Warlock, I was like, yeah, I want to play that. So I boosted a Warlock. Didn't really play it too much because at that time I was still going back and forth between WoW and Star Wars. But then when I tried to play it, I think it was like the end of the year during the I can't remember what the Christmas time event is called, but it was during that I was farming the area in Frostfire Raids, trying to get the Grumpus mount.
Yeah.
You're talking about Winter Veil?
Yeah, Winter Veil. And I would go through all my characters, and when I got to the Warlock, and I'm sure it was just me not knowing what I was doing, but I was terrible. Like, I died all the time, and I couldn't do any damage, so I just kind of said, forget it, and I never really played it. But I don't know if it's just having that was quite a while ago, so I don't know if it's just me having a better understanding of WoW or the changes that they made in Legion, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it's the first class I've tried since I started playing WoW where I really like all three specs. I like Demonology the best, but even Affliction and Destruction, I enjoy playing it. So I got him up to 110, got him through Broken Shore, and then I've just been trying to get gear on him. So I think I'm up to like 820 right now.
Nice. I have a Warlock. I need to play it more, but part of it's getting into the idea of like the dots and stuff like that. Yeah,
Affliction's real dot heavy, and it's probably the spec that I like the least. I just think Demonology's a lot of fun. You've got tons of demons you can throw at mobs and just kind of sit back and let them.
I will admit, when I started playing, I was a complete noob, not knowing anything. And I had to have a Warlock show me the ropes. And I had the old system where we had the 3 different trees and you had to pick out your talents. And with apparently the way I play solo and all that, Affliction was the best for me. So I've played Affliction forever until the end of MOP. I switched to Destruction, and it took me a while to get the hang of, and it does a lot more burst damage, which made it easier to play in some ways. Where Affliction is, if you have a lot of time to wait, it's great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I guess I just didn't like it as much as the other two. Plus, the way Legion is with these artifacts, it's like you kind of have to pick one, a class, or a spec, even a spec. You just have to roll with it for a little while, at least until you get the artifact weapon leveled up and start getting some legendaries.
I think that's my issue with Fury is I'm arms and I'm almost concordant on that one. Fury feels so weak to me, but that's also because I'm not used to rotation. And yeah, I've got barely anything in the artifact.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because I know you and I have talked because at one point you were talking about switching to Fury, and I play Fury and I feel the same way you do when I try to play arms. I feel like I'm driving a car with square wheels or something. It just feels so weird to me compared to Fury. Yeah.
Well, and yeah, I'm realizing now some of the things that help me are because by doing them, I have things that are on my arms artifact that I rely on now. I mean, like I got one thing that'll heal me for all the rage I use, and that's one of the traits on it. So I'm thinking, if I didn't have that, I don't know if I would be so good.
So do you main destruction now, Emma?
I am destruction right now. I tried to get into demonology, but I don't know it. That is my biggest problem. I don't know it.
Yeah, it's understandable. Like I said, when I try to play arms, and I've read guides and all that stuff, but it's just I don't know what it is. It just doesn't click with me.
How's your week been, Emma?
Real life, we won't get much into, but I still have that twitchy finger that I just want to start my World of Warcraft account.
Oh, that reminds me. Hold on. Before we get into that, it is time for a new segment I have. And where is that? Where is it? Sorry. Okay. It is time for the Lady Emma WoW Watch. Has Lady Emma given in to the dark side? Lady Emma, have you given in to the dark side?
Not yet. I did put a poll on Twitter.
And what has the poll said so far?
21% says I should. 43% says no. And 36% says yes, no, do both.
So basically saying do it, join and don't join the game at the same time, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so what you could do, if you know anybody who plays WoW, they could play. You could play on their account, and that way your account's not started up again.
Yeah, but I want all the credit.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. It's like I played Heavy Rain on a friend's PS3 account, and I didn't get any of the trophies for all the stuff I did.
For me, it's more like if I'm gonna do the work, I might as well do it on my account. After starting World of Warcraft, playing on my ex's account, we broke up. I lost all that progress, and playing betas and alphas, you kind of like, like I can do all the work here, but in 6 months from now, I will be redoing it all over again.
Yeah, that's why a lot of like YouTubers who were big into WoW Legion beta kind of got burnt out because they played all of the beta. I don't play the PTR and betas anymore because I could not give enough good. I mean, I wouldn't be able to give enough constructive feedback on the betas, and I'm thinking I'll just spend my time on the main game.
The main point for betas and alphas is to find problems. So you do the things that you probably would not normally do, but find invisible walls and getting stuck in them. So they basically, Blizzard can know to find, there's a crack in this wall, this person's now stuck. Okay, we got to make this invisible wall longer. Or quest items that are not pick-upable or have issues. Like I remember doing the alpha for the Pandaria starting area, and the one where you had to pick up the plant out of the water, the only way for you to pick up those plants was to zoom in completely to get be able to get the cogwheels so you could pick them up. And that was a bug. So that's pretty much what the whole point of the alpha and beta testing is to find all those bugs.
Well, and also brag to your friends. Hey, I'm in the Legion Beta.
Yeah, I always am.
And is that how you sound? Yeah, I'm in the Legion Beta, like a warlock.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've stayed away from it because I don't want to redo content, and
Yeah.
then it won't be new, and I really don't like spoilers, so I try to stay away from stuff for as long as I can.
Well, I've seen the games where like they will try to incentivize you for the beta, but then they get people just joining the beta for no reason. And then you have cases where the beta happens on PTR, and then when the patch comes out, nobody realizes that everything is scaling in a certain way. Yeah.
I always see comments from people who need to be reminded. Like Emma explained, it's not to play the game. It's not to play a finished game early. The point is to find bugs, and there should be problems. You want to find the problems in alpha and beta, not when the game goes live.
Yeah, and you want to see what's changed from retail, so that way you can see, okay, how's it acting differently, and also that way you can fight Nomi when Nomi burns everything. I thought that was an awesome boss. So besides from the WoW Watch, have you done anything fun in games or other stuff since we last talked, Emma?
I finally finished the Princess Snuggie blanket, and I did post a photo of it on Twitter. And I showed one of my coworkers, and she's like, "Oh my god, I love this! You could probably sell them." And then I told her how much the material cost to make that one blanket. That one blanket, not counting time put into it, the materials alone, nothing on sale, would be $70.
I can believe it. My mom does like fabric stuff, and I can believe just for that.
Yeah, and so it's like you can't make a profit. They're best for like gifts and stuff, unless you can make something small that's cheap, get a discount on the materials, and it doesn't take you long to make. Then you can actually make some money.
Yeah, or you find people who are willing to pay the higher price for all the time plus materials. Yeah,
because it's basically with time. If I do an average wage type thing, I'm looking at maybe $200 for that blanket.
I can definitely believe that. I was just talking with somebody else about doing commissions, doing things, and yeah, it's that how do you do the quality for the time and the cost that people want to buy?
Exactly. And a lot of people don't, because you know what, you can get something not like that, but the biggest thing that was people were making were the mermaid tail blankets. Well, with materials and everything, you're looking at easily over $100. And then I go to a store, I found the mermaid tail factory made for $15.
Since they're able to make it in mass production in a factory.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, well, I can put my heart and soul on this for people who are close to me, and I know they're going to value this, and I won't get any money back because, well, I'm doing this out of my heart. Or I could try and sell it and have one or two people.
Yeah, it's the definitely the big debate on stuff.
Others, I've been slacking on my Pokemon. I've been slacking really bad on Pokemon Go. I have been working on the almost impossible jigsaw puzzle lately, again.
Is that in Pokemon Sun?
No, this is an actual real life jigsaw puzzle that's on my coffee table.
Nice.
I've only been
those are
working
fun.
on it for a year.
How many pieces?
It's 10,000. Oh no, one. On. I can do numbers. I cannot do numbers, by the way. 1000. That's 1,000. So 1,000. But it's all blue, and I'm not joking. Every single piece is blue.
And is it called the Impossible Jigsaw Puzzle? Because I remember hearing about something like that.
No, it's not the impossible jigsaw puzzle. This one's just kind of tedious and hard because it's all one color, slightly different shades. So I have quite a chunks done that was easier for me to do. The impossible jigsaw puzzle, how that one is they have the image on both sides of the puzzle.
Ooh.
Not only that, is one of the images is slightly slanted. So they're not even perfect. Then how they cut it, if you look at the bottom of the jigsaw puzzle, it has that flatter edge type thing on one around it, and the top side is bubble. Well, they cut it one direction one way, and then they flip it upside down and cut it the other way. So it leaves an imprint that you don't know if it's the face up or face down.
What's wrong? Well, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
That is one of the most impossible. My sister had one, and it was all of different cats, but you didn't know which one was the top side or the bottom side.
Oh, man.
That
Wow.
just sounds like, I guess if you want to drive yourself insane, you could go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Well, I finished a lot of puzzles, and my coworker actually gave me this one because she found out that I could do a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle in like 2 days with no time. So she had this one that it took her a while to do as well, and she's like, "Here, give this one a try." Yeah, I've been working on it for a year, on and off. So I'll put it away. Like in the winter, there's no point even trying to do it because there's not enough light.
But the winter's the perfect time to do it, though. I mean, have you ever thought about doing, in the winter, doing those aught lights?
No, I've never done one of those.
They're great lights for crafts. My mom likes using it for like beading and stuff like that, because they will show over the whatever you're working on, and they will make it look like it's day. I mean, they're pretty incredible how much light they show. So if you ever want to do it in the winter, you can find them at like Joann Fabrics and stuff like that.
Yeah, usually winter I'll just do crocheting because I can do that in somewhat dim light. But I found out I cannot do it when my boyfriend is around.
You get distracted, or he doesn't want you to do it?
I kind of get distracted because he wants to do stuff. So if he's on his computer, he'll be on some sort of like Discord or some sort of speaking thing and start talking to someone. And if I have to count, like I would have to do 5 single stitch, then a 7 double stitch, and then 13 triple stitch, whatever I'm doing. And I have to count which one I'm doing and remember which type of stitch I'm doing. And you have someone talking in the background, you totally, with ADD, you just get distracted and then you lose your count. You don't know which stitch you're doing. Then what else? Or randomly, even if he's really quiet, he's middle of playing his game, not talking to anyone, he will randomly like say, "Hi, sweetie. I love you, sweetie. How are you doing, sweetie?"
Oh, he's trolling you.
Something, all three will make me focus on him and not focus what I'm doing and forget where I am, and like, oh.
So it sounds like me and dancing. I will. I'll be dancing and talking to somebody, and I'll forget like what I'm doing dancing wise, and we'll just do the basic over and over again, or we'll get off time and tempo.
The last section of this blanket, I was down to the last 2 rows, and he says, "I love you, sweetie." I had to undo the whole entire thing.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. The instructions were also poorly written. Like, this is a pattern that someone else has made out of their head, and they have written it down. And they've done it for different sizes. The child size is perfect because they've gone over it, they've made multiples. But they started making adult sizes. But the adult sizes are sometimes missing a few instructions, have the wrong number of stitches. And so you're cross-referencing to the child size in the same steps, saying, okay, there's a line missing, what's missing? So you're backtracking a lot. And this one doesn't tell you they want you to tie off and then start on the other side, which they do in the child one. So that one, on top of him saying that, totally messed where I was, and I didn't have that one little bit of instruction.
Yeah.
But in the end, I got it done.
And you feel real, like you accomplished something. I mean, that's the amazing thing about crafts that I've always seen is that sense of accomplishment, that sense of having something that you worked on.
Yeah, I made a teddy bear and I gave it to my cousin in England for her son. I made my oldest sister a throw. My niece and nephew have a blanket, and I think I made 3 or 4 other blankets for other people's newborns.
Nice.
Oh, and then I made hats, scarves. Like I've done all these things, but I had fun doing it and learning.
Yeah, and the people that you gave it to definitely appreciate it, because like I had a scarf until it finally. I had used it so many times I wasn't able to use it anymore, but I had a Harry Potter scarf that my mom made me many years ago, and it was really cool. And it was something I cherished wearing.
My mom, from one of her friends, made her a oud hat.
Oud. I'm not sure if I.
That's a Doctor Who reference.
Okay. I've heard the name now.
Oud are technically these servants, and in their hand is like a globe ball thing.
Those, okay, yes.
Yeah, there's actually a really sad story to do with them. But my mom got one of her friends to make her an oud hat, and she has one of the doctor with the long scarf. Someone made that, and you can actually apparently email BBC for the actual pattern of the scarf.
That's cool.
That is a very large scarf.
Yes.
It's a very large scarf, yes. I've seen it in the Doctor Who shop in England, or actually Wales, but it was really, really expensive.
Oh, I bet. Was it a replica or was it the original?
It's a replica.
But
But
still,
I've seen
yeah.
the original as well, too.
Oh, okay. Now I'm jealous. now I'm really jealous.
Well, I went to the Doctor Who experience.
Okay.
My understanding is they're closing that because they lost the lease of the place. My mom has gone 3 times in 3 years. She's gone every year.
Hopefully they can bring it back up, because I remember as a kid one of my favorite things was the thing called the Star Trek experience down in Las Vegas. It was a thing that I see now, like people like across the internet saying like, do you remember that? My sister was a huge Star Trek fan. I appreciate Star Trek. I'm not a fan of Star Trek, but I'm also not a hater of Star Trek. But as a kid, I went on the Star Trek experience in Las Vegas. Oh, you're walking through this memorabilia, and even as a kid, I realized I'm seeing things that are from the show and the movies. I'm like, wow. Well, then they take you to this thing, and when you go there, you're getting on this ride, kind of like those the moving car, the moving room rides where you sit down in a chair and there's a screen. Well, they line you up in front of these doors like you're going to go on one of those. The whole room blacks out. And then you are on the teleportation deck of the Enterprise. And they're like, how did you get here? And then they start walking you through the bridge of the Enterprise. People are walking around. I mean, like it's a ship, but then they're like, I remember how you got here, and there's a thing on the screen and different people dressed up. And then and then they finally take you down this elevator to now a escape shuttle, which is actually the moving car ride, and you fly through Las Vegas, crash into the hotel that you're at, and then the cleaning lady like opens doors like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" But like it was just one of those amazing experiences. I hope those don't get lost, because those are amazing for the fandoms that they're from, and they're amazing to get people into those fandoms. I mean, because of that, I want to know. I've always wanted to know more about Star Trek because of that.
If you want to know more about Star Trek, ask my boyfriend. He's like a Star Trek Wikipedia, and I didn't even realize how bad it is, because he can tell you almost every spot on the Enterprise, and he looks up the schematics of the ship. It's just like, how does he fit all this information in his head?
So would he turn his room into the person who turned their entire apartment into a Star Trek ship? Did you see that on Reddit many years ago? Is either Reddit or some site?
I don't know.
Let me see. But yeah,
See, the only Star Trek stuff he actually owns, we got from my sister, because she used to be a huge Trekkie way back in the day. And she has all these figurines with their weapons and their stands. And she's like, well, I don't want them anymore. What do I do? And I'm like, well, I can sell them because they're going to be worth money. And then my boyfriend's like, well, I like Star Trek. And that's how I found out how big of a Trekkie he is.
Nice.
Where was this Doctor Who experience that you went to?
In Catford, Wales.
Okay.
Now I want to go. So now I can go to England and go to the Harry Potter experience and the Doctor Who experience.
Yeah, it's the Doctor Who experience. It was a lot of fun. Basically, the scenario, because you kind of go through a little scenario type thing where something goes wrong. You go to Gallifrey and something goes wrong, so now you're on the TARDIS, and now you have to save the ship before something bad happens on not the TARDIS, but you have to save something. And when you're on the TARDIS part, they actually, I actually talked to the tour guide later. He's like, they actually use that for the show every once in a while.
Nice.
So I got to technically be on one of their sets.
That's awesome.
But you don't find out until later, because what happened was, the guy who brought us all through this experience and everything, he ended up being me and my mom's tour guide around Cardiff, because to see all the Doctor Who stuff. So basically, he saw me and my mom, and he's like, "Oh no, not you two," because through the whole entire thing, me and my mom, well, mainly me, acting like a 4-year-old in a candy shop, like, ooh, buttons, can I push this button? Ooh, can I do this?
Nice.
And, you had to find items, and I finally found an item before anyone else, but I was kind of hesitant of grabbing it because I'm like, there is some little kids here. Maybe they want to do it. And he noticed that I found it. He's like, just go for it. And I'm like, yeah. And got the item. But in the end, apparently I was a robot who was trying to sabotage everything.
Nice.
So it was a lot of fun, and got to talk to him while we were going to site around Cardiff about all the different sets, and he talks a little bit about Torchwood and all that.
That's awesome, and it makes the show come alive even more.
It definitely does. Well, the show is always kind of alive. It was just kind of interesting because one of the buildings, they've used it in like 4 or 5 different episodes, probably even more. And one of the Doctor Who characters makes a joke saying, hey, maybe they should make this area, or no, this area is lacking something. What is it lacking? I know, maybe they should have put a gift shop over in this area.
Nice.
Well, in reality, there actually is a gift shop right there, but they photoshopped it or like imaged it out.
Nice. That's one of those inside jokes on the crew. Nice.
Exactly. And I can't remember what the building actually was, but they used it as a library. They used it as a hospital, and then there was a few other things that they used in the show.
That reminds me of like the Brady Bunch. The yard was both the yard, the school, and a few other things during the show. They used the same set because of budget reasons. I've always been amazed at how Hollywood and then whatever they call BBC. I don't know if there's a name for that production area, but I've always been amazed. It's BBC.
BBC.
Okay, I've been amazed at what they can do with the same area, make it look totally different.
Yeah, and I don't know. Have you ever watched the Torchwood spin-off series?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a spoiler, but not spoiler. So it depends. If you haven't seen it, ignore me. If you haven't seen it, ignore me. If you have seen it, pay attention. John Carter, I think his name. I can't remember. But one of the guys in Torchwood, he passes away in the show, and basically, fans end up starting a big protest against this big part where they start putting he'll never die, he'll live on, like a memorial. That's it. Big memorial for this character, fictional character.
Nice.
So the city cleans it up, gets rid of everything, cleans it all up, and then people start putting more on, and it's people from all around the world has put stuff on here.
Nice.
My cat's gonna jump on. My cat's gonna jump, and I don't want a bang.
Singing.
Okay, there we go. He finally jumped. All right. So they do this, cleaned it up. People got mad, put it up again. They cleaned it up again, and it kept on going on until there was a petition put around how the city has to leave this up because it's a memorial for this character. And so the government finally puts up, a fan puts up a plaque stating who this character is, why this memorial is here, and how they have to leave it. And it's a really nice plaque. So the government just gave up and let the fans have their memorial.
Nice. That's awesome.
So
was the place they put the memorial like significant for the show?
yes, it is. I can't remember exactly. I don't know if that's where he died or what, but yeah, it's very. I haven't watched it in a while, and I know he told, like the tour guide told us, because it was our very last stop, and I just don't remember. There was a lot of information.
I've never watched Torchwood.
I've watched a few episodes. I need to watch more of it. I also need to watch more of the recent Doctor series because just things got in the way, and I haven't watched it recently. But I did get to see the 50th. Or no, not the 50th. Whatever that big anniversary was, or was it 50 years of Doctor Who?
Yeah, I think 50 was the last big one.
Yeah, it was 50.
And go ahead. I think I cut you off.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I went through a couple years ago. I binge watched and went through the 9th Doctor, 10th Doctor, and then I got maybe halfway through the first season of Matt Smith, and I just it was a combination of burnout because I was watching so much of it, and I wasn't quite as interested in him as I was in David Tennant, so I've never gone back to it.
Yeah, I'm a big David Tennant fan. No Eyebrows Doctor. I'm so on him. The original ones, I haven't really been able to get into their episodes. If I could find their shows, there was a few of them on Netflix, but not enough.
Well,
I think Hulu had a real good selection, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I think Amazon has it because that's where especially on their Prime Video.
But because we're talking about Doctor Who, what do you guys think about the 13th Doctor?
I keep talking. I'll look up. I actually have not seen who the 13th Doctor is.
So I like it a lot. I'm all for it. For a couple reasons. One, from what I've read, she's quite an accomplished actress. She's played a lot of different roles. So it sounds like she'll be good for the role. You know, like anybody who's cast in something like this, you just have to wait and see how they do. I remember when, I don't know quite how to say his last name, Peter Capaldi. I remember there were people upset about his casting because they didn't like going from, you know, a younger doctor in Matt Smith to an older person. So, you know, there were people complaining about that, and, you know, it's like you got to give someone a shot and just wait and see how it is. And then the fact that it's a woman, I think that's great. You know, I've seen some people kind of try to dance around the issue and not just come out and say they don't like it. So, you know, I'll see comments like alluding to the fact that it's a forced change in gender, which to me, I'm kind of like, at some point though, the Band-Aid needs to be ripped off, and you need to let it happen, especially in this kind of role, because this is, you know, you think about the character, this is science fiction. It's a character who regenerates into a completely different person. So it's well within the realm of plausibility. And I'm not a Doctor Who expert at all, but I was reading, you know, just some of the articles I was reading, they mentioned how in the past the Doctor himself has mentioned that he could regenerate with 2 heads or, you know, no mouth or something like that. So I'm like, well, if he can regenerate like that, then he certainly can regenerate into a woman. And I also don't buy the argument I've seen some people make that, you know, oh, they just haven't had someone to cast. I'm like, come on, 55 years, 12 different actors. Let's be honest with each other. And until, you know, the recent reboot with the 9th Doctor, I don't think that possibility was ever even discussed or looked into. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. I like, over the past several years in general, I've liked seeing the doors opened to more, you know, yeah, in the past there were examples of women in lead roles or in action roles, such as Ripley in Aliens, and of course you had Captain Janeway in Star Trek, but it was always here and there, whereas over the past couple of years now it's becoming more commonplace, which I think it should. So I'm all for it. I don't, it won't necessarily make me watch or won't make me watch, because like I said, I've kind of been out of the loop anyway. I haven't seen any of the 12th Doctor, but I like it.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and Detective was the first time I heard about it. I think it's a great move, and what I'm about to say will someone will probably find some offense to it, but I think it actually will make the Doctor more relatable. I think by being a woman who hopefully, because he's had strained relationships with his companions, he's not always able to connect. Maybe she'll be able to finally connect better. I mean, because I think she'll understand friendships better than some of the past ones since 9.
So go on.
So I think it's a great move. I mean, because I think it's time for moving past a Doctor who's awkward with companions, not able to connect with them, to finally one who can become a friend with their companion.
But she could. But you don't know how her personality is going to be. She could be.
That is true,
and you don't know who her companion's going to be either. It might not be female.
Yeah, which is why I said what I was about to say was probably going to find some way that.
All right, so I'm just going to spiel about how I feel. At this point in time, I am not 100% happy that they picked a female, not for the fact that she is a female. I have no problem with the Doctor being a female. I just feel it's a little too soon, because his counterpart, the Master, who turned into Missy, which is turned into a female, we knew he could generate into a female because of this. I feel it's a little too soon. Yes, it's been a couple of seasons since Missy's been introduced, but to me, it just feels a little too soon. There was too many fans were trying to push for it, so I feel like they forced it to be a female because they were trying to please the fan base, not because they want to or it's a right fit at this time.
But again, after 55 years, like,
yeah,
when's the right time?
Exactly. Well, was hoping for at least a couple more years once Missy's been, not a big deal that, the master changed gender. Now, I'm not saying she will not be a good doctor. I don't know. I have seen her in a few things, and she wasn't bad. So it all depends on how they write the script, how she portrays herself in the script, because they do allow the doctors to have their own personalities, have their own quirks, and have their own improvise. So it's going to be interesting how she pulls that off. On top of that, the outfit she's wearing is not guaranteed being the outfit that she's going to wear for the season. They just wanted her to be cover up, so you kind of take a guess of, all right, who is it? What is it going to be? Without blatantly saying, yes, it's going to be a gender swap. So I'm not saying that I will not watch because it's female. I will still watch and see how she plays, but I would wait a couple more years before they gender swap, unless her performance compared to everyone else who's there was phenomenal and she makes a great doctor, then great. I'm happy.
So you're more from a storyline perspective.
That, and I feel it's been pushed because his counterpart was changed gender, so now everyone's like, hey, it can be done, so you should do it. When are you changing gender? When are you, it's just like everyone's pushing towards it.
And you're trying to make sure that the writers are in control of their story and not just changing it based on.
Exactly. And you know what? I hope they had tons of different people, male and female, trying out for the part. And they didn't just pick a female because, the fan base wants a female, so we might as well give them a female.
Yeah, well, and I could see maybe they already had this in plan when they changed the master into Missy. Maybe they are.
Well, they have a new head writer. Moffat was original writer, and
I forgot he left.
Yeah, he's left. So we have a complete new writer. So the new writer could be trying to go off of fan base.
But it wasn't. I thought it was Moffat that I read was quoted as saying this was part of his plan too, and that there are clues kind of laced throughout a lot of the past seasons.
The doctor's wife, River Song, makes a comment in the Christmas special about something to do with her ex-wife or something like that. But there was also clues that River Song learned how to fly the TARDIS from Peter Capaldi, because in one episode someone asked her how she knew how to fly a TARDIS. She said from the doctor, a really old doctor.
And with her, because I can't quite, when she shows up, she doesn't show up in, how can I put, she's not in chronological order, right? Like she might show up in a later season and she's actually from a timeline before the last time she showed up, correct?
Yeah, because the very first episode you meet her in is the episode she dies. So you know when she dies. Throughout the history of following the Doctor, she pulls up in random different timelines. Now, one of the end season episodes of last season, he actually spends the very last day before she goes and dies to the other episode. So you kind of know that he's grieving for her. So when you start the new season 10, he's grieving for her because he just spent the last day with her. But he will see her again randomly throughout time.
See, all this talk is making me want to start watching Doctor Who again.
Me too. I find it the show amazing, just how they can try different things, do different things, but they always seem to have an amazing way to say, oh well, that was this. I mean, the retconning is amazing. I mean, just it flows so well.
Well,
it really.
They can do almost anything in any episode, go any place, anywhere. As long as there's some sort of crisis that the Doctor can fix.
Yeah.
They go everywhere. I'm rewatching the reboot with my boyfriend because he's never seen it. He's seen me watch them and he's getting kind of interest, but he's finally like, we're only on episode like 7 or 8 of the reboot, but he's now kind of getting into it and knowing all these characters.
Nice.
It really is like the perfect, it's a genius plan because like you said, you can do whatever you want. And if you get like an actor who starts being a problem, you can just be like, you're dead now, and we'll just regenerate you into somebody else.
Yeah, or if one of them passes away, I mean, you can find a way to move things around.
Well, I think that's how the first regeneration happened, was either the person passed away or there was a conflict of interest, so they had to move it to another person. And they're like, okay, how do we switch actors that look nothing like each other, don't act like each other or sound like each other? How do we transition? And that's how the regeneration came about.
Nice.
And my mom used to tell me like stories because she's been watching it since it first aired. She's also British, so this is why she's actually been watching it when it first aired. And so she remembers all these little things. She picked me up a sweater, and I had no clue what it meant. I knew it was Doctor Who because it has the official Doctor Who label inside, but I had no clue what it meant. And apparently there's this junkyard that played a huge role in the classic series. So it's like, I want to watch the classic series so I can actually know more.
Well, and I was reading that sadly some parts of the classic series, the tapes are destroyed because back then they were filming live and they weren't recording things. So there's things that are lost to time.
Here's the great thing. There was this guy, I want to believe he was in Africa, maybe. He actually recorded everything that was on TV. And by putting a camcorder facing his TV and recording it that way before VCRs were invented, so you couldn't record. And he did that. So he actually has all the episodes of Doctor Who and donated it somewhere. I can't remember.
Cool.
Wow.
I'll see if I can find the article. But yeah, he had every single episode. So they do have all the episodes, and it's not in great condition, and it's probably not the best format, but they have all the episodes.
Well, I mean, it's enough to, if you're the writers, to watch them and see what happened, where they're going, so that way you can know where to go in the future.
Exactly.
That's awesome. But
Yeah, I can remember my dad, when you were talking about the Scarf earlier, that was Tom Baker. And I used to watch some of those when I was a kid because my dad was into it. And we would watch it on, it was on PBS all the time. And I remember, I can't remember what year it was, but I remember my dad being really upset when Tom Baker regenerated into Peter Davidson. My dad quit watching the show. He was like, I hate this new guy. He stinks. I'm not watching it anymore.
Wow, so some of the original fandom arguments about Doctor Who. There was somebody from England who we're good friends with, and when the last time she was here, she was talking about how as a kid she was so terrified of the Daleks on TV until at some point someone said it's just a rolling trash can, and they knocked over trash can. So she said from then on, every trash can she went, I think she would topple it over just to be just in case it was a Dalek, she wanted to stop it. So I'm going to move this on to the next one because this has been a great discussion of Doctor Who. My nephew went to the Apple Camp yesterday for the second day. I had a lot of fun, but he had a lot of fun too. And let me pull up his. Here is the interview. I wanted to interview him and get his thoughts on coding. Hello, this is Frazley, and we just got done with Apple Coding Camp 2.
Yes.
And with me, I have Brandon.
Hi.
So, Brandon, what did you do today?
I play with spheros, made it there's these different tracks, so you can make it go. So we programmed it to stay on the lines, but you couldn't really tell it to. You can put in the You put it in the seconds, the speed, and the what? I forgot.
Speed.
Heading.
Yeah, heading.
Heading, and Frazley got it. Check, do it, whatever.
Yeah, it was cool. They had a couple extra spheros and an iPad, so I got to try it out on one of the maps. So I had like a cube that I had to go around. So I had to kind of guess where from. You always like it knew where to start at zero. I mean, these Sphero, it's the Sphero Spark Plus. Those are actually pretty cool. And did you guys finish all the maps, or at least
Yeah, almost. Oh, and I have a question, Frazley.
Yeah.
Do you like fries with your hamburgers?
Absolutely. As long as they're sweet potato fries, I like them.
That's why I thought Frazley.
Frazley. I never thought of it like that. No, my nickname is Frazzle because if I get nervous, I start getting like frazzled and start stuttering and just like I get nervous. But yeah. So we had a great time. Thank you again to the people at Apple for putting this on. I definitely recommend the Sphero Spark Pluses. I mean, it's amazing teaching kids different things in engineering. I mean, I kept saying this and thinking, if I had this as a kid, or had used these as a kid, I might have gotten into engineering. I mean, maybe not, but still, it's amazing. Definitely, if you get a chance to go to either the workshops over Saturdays or to the Apple Camp, they're free.
But I don't know if the things are. But does that Apple Camp only go during the summer?
Yeah, the Apple Camps are during the summer, but during the rest of the year, they have hour-long camps kind of on Saturday mornings. And you get to do things like this with like Sphero.
Yeah. And one thing is record podcast audio with Brandon.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
And that's it.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your input, and it was cool to hear that you liked it. And now, the question that I'm dying to know: Sphero or Nintendo Switch?
Nintendo Switch.
Okay, so still can't get you to want the Sphero. Okay, well, this is Frazley and Brandon signing out.
But yeah, that was my nephew, and he's been having a great time. And tomorrow's our last day at it, and I've been one of the the first day they told any of the parents, if you want to try any of this stuff, just to stick around. All the other parents went away. I was the one that was intently watching and all that. So then over time they had less kids sign up for something, so they gave me some of the extra Spheros and iPads to play with. So I've been going to camp too. I've been having a great time.
So do they do this at the Apple Store?
Yeah, it's at the Apple Store. Every summer, it's called Apple Camp. They have ones like a photography camp, teach children framing, photography. They have a video camp, and this one's the coding camp.
Nice.
And it's one of those. I mean, it's definitely built to sell stuff, and I've been trying to not buy a BB-8 and Sphero after seeing this, but it's also, I think the whole STEM project, and I mean just getting kids to understand science, technology, engineering, and math, and just seeing what it can do, how it can be fun, and I'm hoping through this, we're hoping that that it can foster Brandon's love for stuff. And Brandon, if you're listening, hi, we're talking about you. He found out that I'm on YouTube, so he's like, "Oh, you're on YouTube," so he might be listening to me. But yeah, and the Apple staff there were like camp counselors. I mean, it was just amazing. I've not seen a thing like that. Actually, no. Home Depot has done that with you can go and build things. So I mean, it's fun when companies make things, and that way kids can come and just try different things out.
No, I think it's awesome, especially from our learning curve point of view, because if you can get kids interested in stuff when they're young, they kind of know which direction where they want to go when they're older. On top of that, if they can do these stuff, like computer programming, and they find it easy. They can get a lot more job opportunities and focus that in kind of school.
Absolutely. When I was 16, what I got for my 16th birthday was stuffed animals and editing software, because I had a Logitech webcam that I one time put well, first I was on the screensavers because they wanted a 30-second horror film, so I took my cat, was like, I am Tab, I'm a killer cat, and all that. But Kevin Rose and Sarah, I think Sarah Lane, they actually picked that and they liked it. So like, you know what, this is kind of fun. So I then took a stuffed animal and put it in front of it. Again, I was a late teen, but still I was trying something, and that's how I've now gotten into wanting to do media and video and audio. It just, since then, it's been something that I keep trying to foster and keep working on.
Which is great. I always encourage anyone, if you can learn more stuff, do it. Pick up something that you've always wanted to do and just do it. And
I was listening to this one podcast about podcasting, but it applies to anything. Don't wait to perfect it. Just do it. Even in this podcast, there's things I've done that have not been perfect. I'm still winging it on stuff, but I mean, just do it. Just do it consistently. And one of the people said, don't stop because you make mistakes. Don't stop because of anything. Just keep going. The more you do it, the better you get. And I bet you, like the blanket that you did, it's not your first design. But like, what was your first design like?
My very first one is my nephew's blanket at this point in time, who he loves it to death. And I can see tons of mistakes in it, mainly because I didn't know what stitch was what. My coworker was kind of just teaching me. And like the very first row, I did 3 different stitches because I didn't realize I was doing different stitches.
And now you've learned from that, and you're able to then improve what you make from now on, and you're probably still always learning.
Definitely. This new blanket is the first time I've actually read a pattern. Most of the patterns I've learned are projects I've done. I've watched YouTube videos on how to do them, or I've had someone else tell me what I'm doing. And now that I know what, thankfully a lot of the YouTube videos, they actually do the short word format. So I get to see what it says and do those stitch. And in this pattern, for this blanket, every single stitch in there, I have done them on another blanket or another hat or on something that I have watched. So it was actually quite easy for me to do.
Nice.
But if you got me to do this, my nephew's 5 now, and I made the blanket just before he was born, I would have looked at that and found it very daunting, and I'm like, I would never be that good. I'll just be happy if I can do a square.
Yeah, but now that you've kept at it, and then probably in 5-10 years you'll probably look at what you do now. Now you're like, wait. I did that. I did that. I mean, you'd probably be like on more advanced stuff.
Well, the one thing I like about crocheting is it's very forgiving. Very forgiving. I've tried knitting, and if your tension is just off slightly, it looks completely different. So I find crocheting's more up my alley. So I'm not a knitter, but I find it's very easy.
Well, I've seen people crochet. I wouldn't say it's easy. To me, I'm still in amazement.
Well, no, you're just tying knots. That's all you're doing. You're repeatedly tying knots.
But you're doing what a lot of people don't want to do, and you know how to tie knots efficiently. I mean, so it's somebody's got to do it.
But it is fun, and if I can watch TV while I do it, I'm a lot happier. So I like to pick those easy patterns so I don't have to count a lot.
Just don't do what my... I'm going to call out my mom. We were in a movie theater one time. And
Wait, what did she do?
I'm trying to go quiet because I don't want to... She's over the next room, so I don't want to... So she was in a movie theater, wanted to knit, had these light up needles. So the whole time I'm sitting there trying to not at all know that I'm seeing this, and it's like this light's like blinding everybody. I'm like, please don't have anybody get upset. You know, it's that you try to forgive what your family does, and you're just like, yeah. That was one of the hardest movies I ever saw. Thankfully, that stopped. But there was a phase where you go to a movie, see the needles come out. Like, okay, just ignore anybody in the room. If anybody complains, just ignore it.
I can't do it when there's major distractions, so that won't be a problem for me.
Oh, that's good. Okay. And these were some really good movies. I think, like, we saw Hunger Games. Oh, the funniest thing in Hunger Games was one. I mean, not that the scene was funny, but there was a very impactful scene. Well, out of the corner of my eye, I see this arm going in a circle, kind of like almost like you would do if you're bored. And you're like, come on. I'm like, this scene. This is an impactful scene. I find out later because the person was knitting. I was like, oh, okay, so they weren't bored at the scene. I'm like, how can you be bored at that one scene? Yeah.
I am notorious if I'm in the movie theater and I'm seeing an action movie that I apparently fall asleep during the action parts.
Nice.
Not any other part. I was watching what movie? It was an old movie a long time ago. Basically, this guy is supposed to be a bodyguard for a little girl in Mexico. She ends up getting kidnapped. Man on Fire, that's it. So I watched up to the whole entire point. Just before the action started, I passed out. The guy I was dating at the time didn't have the heart to wake me up. Just before he managed to get the little girl back is when I woke up. Missed the whole entire action.
Ooh, kind of like I fell asleep during the first time seeing Frozen, and I'm like, I'm so confused when I woke up. I was like, what just happened? And I had asked people in the car, like, what did you do there? What happened there? And they're like, did you fall asleep at this part? Yeah. Oh.
I did the same thing with the World of Warcraft movie. I fell asleep on the action part.
Oh, and that's when they put the plot in.
Yep, I was totally like confused and lost. I even asked my boyfriend to wake me up, and he left me sleeping.
Maybe he was engaged in the movie, and he was just like so enthralled by it.
His excuse right now that he's telling me, apparently I look so cute.
Okay, so see, he's trying to give you a compliment.
Yeah, I even told him because we saw a really late movie, and I've been up since 5 a.m. It's like, do not let me sleep. Do not let me fall asleep. And he let me fall asleep.
Hopefully, you've at least seen it again on.
I bought it, so now I know what I was missing.
That's good because I bought a couple copies of it.
Yeah, I'm like, how did the king die? Why is everyone blaming her? I thought she was on their side. What happened?
I did the same with Moana because I saw Moana. We went on a cruise in April, and we were in a theater. So you're in a dark theater. The ship is rocking back and forth, back and forth. So I fell asleep for Moana. I saw that movie 4 times before I finally saw every part in its entirety.
Yeah, I just watched that for the first time this past weekend. I'd watched a couple depressing movies, so I'm like, I was going through Netflix and I saw that and I'm like, I need to watch this because I can't handle another depressing movie. I'm like, I need to watch something that's just going to be fun and colorful.
Yeah, and uplifting. And I thought that movie was great.
Yeah, it was good.
I haven't watched Mulan in forever.
Oh, that movie's great too. I'm a Disney fan, and this cruise was a Disney cruise, so it's a.
I'm a Disney fan too. Yeah.
And
I've always heard good things about the Disney cruise.
Yeah, it's amazing, and even as an adult, it's fun to see because when you're seeing kids have fun, and I love seeing people having fun. So for me, it was fun just watching these kids see the princesses, see the characters, or the kids just have fun seeing Mickey. I mean, so for me, I like the people watch, and when the kids are having fun, it just made my day. So it was just a fun cruise, and you're walking around and you're hearing happy music the whole time. So it just, how can you not feel good when you walk down one stair and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, da 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 da. I know the lyrics, but I can't think of them right now. Yeah.
All I know, my last trip to Disney World was horrible, and I was actually cranky.
Well, hopefully the next one will be much better.
I'm hoping, because so far I've gone 3 times, and each time I've gone, it's gone a little worse.
Ooh. There's a book I'd recommend called Snodgrass Vacations. It's by an independent author, but it is a parody of Disney World. I think if you watch that, it'll give you or read it. It'll give you another perspective on Disney World. I don't think it's on Audible, but it's not a long read, but it's hilarious.
I might need that.
Yeah, we're planning. My family, I've been talking to a couple of different family members about planning a trip in 2019 when they open up the Star Wars land.
Oh,
because I haven't been to Disney since I was like 13 years old, so I think it's probably like 5 times bigger than it was back then. So a lot of new stuff to see, and I want to go back to Universal, and I know they've expanded the Harry Potter area too, so I want to go back there.
Oh, we wanted to do Universal, but how Universal works is their prices flex. So if there's more demand for people to go in there, like there's lots of people, they raise the price. And if it's slow, the price is lower. And of course, there's this new thing where you guys are from called Fall Break.
Yes.
It's horrible. It's horrible. That's one reason why my Disney World trip was horrible, is one ride, like the fun rides, the ones that you always do the Fast Pass for, was a 3-hour wait if you didn't Fast Pass, and you're looking at an hour and a half for the Fast Pass.
Go in September.
Well, I didn't get to choose when I went. My boyfriend won the trip.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't know fall break was a thing. Neither did he. And we thought, oh, it's October. All the kids should be in school. It should be fine.
Wait. Fall break? Because we have spring break.
Yeah, I've never heard of fall break.
Fall break is a new thing, apparently. So, because we actually asked a few parents, it's like, so just curiosity, why are you here with your kids? Shouldn't they be in school? And they're like, no, they start school 2 weeks early so they can have a 2-week break in fall.
Okay,
And,
I have heard of some of the school districts across the country. I've heard of a few that are doing that. It's kind of the European model.
yeah, and then not all the schools are going to be off at the same time in the same district type thing. So they'll have one school a week off at this, like 1 week. The next week, another school will be. So it kind of alternates, but that means there's really no break. And I end up sending my best friend who worked at Disney World the photos of what I was dealing with, and she says it looks like Christmas time.
Wow, okay. So yeah.
It's like you
That'd
take
be pretty annoying.
Yeah, you take 2 steps and then you have to stop because the people in front of you have stopped. So then you go a step to the left, take another 2 steps, gotta stop again. And you're just shuffling along everywhere. And the shortest ride for anything is an hour and a half.
Fun. With
So
sarcasm.
Yeah, so that's why I was a little bit cranky, and it got really bad each time I was there. But let me tell you, the first time I ever went there, I had a blast. Splash Mountain is one of my favorite rides, and at Magic Hour, where only guests who are from the hotels get to stay an extra hour, I was on that ride, never left my seat 7 times. It was great.
Nice. Yippity-doo-dah, zippity-day.
Day.
My, oh my, what a wonderful
day.
Nothing but sunshine coming my way. Zippity-doo-dah. You got it in my head now.
That's okay. My friend, my guy friend, if I go with him, I make him ride the Small World After All over and over and over. So, because it gets stuck in your head. It really does get stuck in your head.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now it's in my head already. Well, let's clear our head real quick. And just so we can talk about the title of our episode, Doomfist and Overwatch. I know we're World of Warcraft and mostly, but let's. What do you all think of Doomfist? If you've seen
like I said earlier, I haven't. I stay off of PTRs because I just don't want to. I don't want to know what's going on until it's actually released. So I haven't tried them out yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played Overwatch in a while. I usually play for like a week or two, and then I come back to spending all my time in a while. But I'm looking forward to trying them out. I was
impressed when I heard about. Ooh, nice. That is that definitely is Rapunzel.
Yeah, so I had to post it because we were talking about Disney, and I finally found the photo. It's an older photo. My hair's a little bit longer than that. But I don't know what Doomfist is.
Doomfist is the new hero in Overwatch, and it was for a while rumored because there was a picture of Terry Crews outside of Blizzard, and it was rumored Terry Crews would be the next Doomfist. Now there's a little bit of controversy. I mean, there always is that Doomfist is not Terry Crews, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, I think the new Doomfist is pretty good. But then again, I'm a Blizzard fandom, so really anything that they do is fine by me.
I've still haven't played Overwatch because I don't have it.
The only thing I would suggest on Overwatch is you get a baby monkey pet in WoW.
I want a baby monkey pet.
It is
Someone get me Overwatch.
It is the cutest thing.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite pets.
And that's why
the little animations he does from Overwatch are great.
And that's the only reason I even bought it on PS4 because of here's a picture of it. Oh, cool! And he's in Nomegon from this picture. But yeah. Three, two. I think it's just. Yeah.
Him! Isn't that Winsting?
Yeah,
I have a baby Winsting little figurine on my computer monitor.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. That's Winston, and yeah, he's in the in WoW, and that's the reason I bought Overwatch, because if you buy it on PS4, because it's not on Mac yet, though the Blizzard launcher did have something interesting. When I was looking at it, it said not available for Mac, but it had a grayed out play button. Either they're going for consistency, or we're getting close to Overwatch on Mac. It could just be hopeful wishing.
Well, I know the way he talked about it, he didn't completely rule it out. I think they just said, like, not at this time.
And I can definitely understand it. Well, and on Mac, you want to do it right, because you can rush a port through Cider or crossover. I mean, something where it won't be as good. Or if you like Blizzard, you can really work the Mac, and you can work the coding, because World of Warcraft on Mac runs great. And I've even heard people say that using the new stuff in Legion, it runs just as good on Boot Camp, which is like how you can run Windows on Mac, as it does running it natively. Wow, that's a lot of Pokemon games. You definitely are.
I told you I have them all. Except for the spin-offs.
Wow.
I don't have the spin-offs.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been really impressed with Blizzard since I started playing their games, is they seem to, just look at what happened with Titan. I mean, I'm pretty sure any other company would have just said, we need to recoup some of this money, just slap something together and put this game out. Whereas Blizzard basically took the wreckage of Titan and turned it into a $1 billion game in Overwatch, which is really impressive.
Yeah, and what's amazing is it sounds like they really did think long and hard before they added Destiny 2 to the service. I mean, it wasn't just where Activision Blizzard, we can add an Activision game to the Battle.net. They said no, Destiny 2 needs Battle.net integration, and the Bungie and Blizzard apparently have the same core feeling, and they said, hey, it's a good fit. It's going to be weird though, seeing friends with Destiny 2 on the launcher.
I don't think I know. I saw some people were worried that meant, Battle.net was going to turn into Steam, but I don't think they're going to get that carried away. I think they'll be very careful with what games they allow to, be pulled into their service. Yeah,
I do too. Well, because I don't think that they want to ruin the either the Battle.net servers or stuff. But I don't think though if they find good games, I could definitely see gold prices going up and tokens going up.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw it spike up pretty high when Destiny 2 was announced.
And I won't deny I bought a token to get my Draenor rep for Pathfinder. Because I was like, it's I can get 130 gold, 130,000 gold, and then use that to buy the Medallions of the Legion. Yeah, I'll do that. It saved me quite a few days.
Yeah, if you're looking to use it to get some gold quick, it's great right now. But if you were using it for your subscription fee, you're probably not that happy. Because I remember at one point it was, I think they were only like 30,000 or 40,000.
Yeah, and now it's spiked.
Yeah. People are telling me, he's like, oh, don't spend money, use a WoW token. And I'm like, I'm not good at making gold. I spend it more than anything. So, nope, I'll go with time card. And my boyfriend gets me a discount on the time card. Not by much. I think we save like $2. But, hey, that's $2 less than I have to spend.
And this goes into an interesting... It's kind of a tangent, but... there are new items in the WoW store, or in the Blizzard Gear store, and also the Blizzard Gear store is going down for maintenance for quite a few weeks. And what if they are redoing the Gear store to let you use Battle.net balance?
You can't do that already?
No, I've tried, but I don't think... Because
that would be pretty cool.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the Blizzard Gear store.
Yeah, and I didn't know that they were planning on taking it down.
Yeah, I was looking at the Ice Cream Citadel shirt, which is now one of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that they have it. I haven't bought it yet, but I was looking at it, and they said, just FYI, you want to buy it before the 27th? Because after the 27th, it is down to, I believe...
Yeah. Basically, we are preparing a brand new Blizzard Gear Store experience arriving in August. What happens to pending orders placed before the maintenance periods will be processed and shipped as usual. And then they have a different link that you can access your account info. What happens to pending pre-orders? All pre-orders carry over into the Blizzard new Gear Store. And I still have a question about my account, and you can submit a ticket type thing. So they do have a Q&A.
So I'm wondering if they're either redoing the store, but it would be interesting if they were to finally let you use Blizzard.net balance on that.
Well, originally, my understanding, that was kind of what they were planning on doing eventually for those people who are making money or whatever. You can buy anything from, like, Heroes of Storms and other game stuff, but I heard it was also for the gear as well.
And that would just be a matter of combining the two systems into one, because I also would love it, because then I wouldn't have to keep entering my credit card number. Oh, no, then I wouldn't like it, because then it would make it easier for me to buy stuff.
Well, they won't do it that way because it used to be. The gear store and the game stuff used to be able to be bought on the same site. And I think there was a lot of hiccups and issues with that, and that's when Blizzard decided to do a gear website.
Okay, yeah, I must not have been around that long enough to remember when they were doing that. Oh wait, no, I
That would be amazing. If you could, I want this shirt. I'll just buy it with, a couple 100,000 gold from my game.
yeah, and then by doing that, then people won't leave. Wow. So I mean, I see nothing but good, except for then the price of gold is going to go up again. So buy your tokens now. This is speculation, but buy your tokens now.
Well, you don't want too many people to put tokens in the store, because then that loses the price, because then there's too many tokens.
Don't buy your tokens. So half of you will buy tokens, half of you won't.
See, what I really want from this silly store would be the Nightmare Whelpling plushie.
Oh, as long as, do you already have the Griffin plushie?
Yeah, I have the Griffin, or the Griffin and the other one. I also have 3 of the Drakes, so I still need the Emerald Drake. I'm missing him, and I was missing a few others that are no longer on the store.
I will add those to my Amazon wish list, but I try not to buy plushies myself that don't have in-game items, because otherwise I'd buy them all.
Yeah. The other thing I was sad is the Storm Chen mug that used to be there is no longer there, and I really wanted that one. It was a drinking mug. I have the 2 Murlocs, the green and the blue.
I went crazy they had that spring cleaning sale a month or 2 ago, and I went nuts during that thing and bought a ton of stuff. But the prices were, I think pretty much everything I bought was 70% off.
It's same here. I actually got the Warlock robe. I have the Alliance throw, the beer glasses, 3 Whelplings, the Trivia Pursuit, and a few other things. I was also looking at the Mahjong, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not buying it because it was so cheap.
That blanket's really nice, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm waiting for shedding season to go away before I pull it out.
Oh. So yes, it is. It's really nice. I think you really like it.
I have 2 long hair cats and shedding season. Thankfully, shedding season does stop for long hair. Short hair, I find, never does.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to snuggle into that blanket.
I've been so impressed with them since I started playing their games and buying stuff off the gear store, because outside of that the spring clearance sale, which I know that was just crazy. They had, even the website was crashing because there were so many people buying stuff. But outside of that, everything I've ordered gets to me, like if I order on a Monday, it's sitting on my doorstep on a Wednesday.
Nice.
It's just so fast.
Mine took a while, and sadly, half the things that I wanted that was on sale on the first day was already gone by the time I could order it because of the crashing.
I ordered the Murloc sweater, and I get a call from FedEx saying, we have a box from Wizard Gear Store that's empty. And I'm like, okay. So then they say, we're not going to deliver this. So I then called Blizzard, and they said, yeah, we think somehow in transits somebody saw that it was from Blizzard. So Blizzard was great, and they sent me out a new one, and they added a funny little thing to the end of the email. But they said, we hope you enjoy it when this one makes it to your home.
So it got lost in transit?
Lost. Kind of, as I say, it walked. It walked legs.
I think my only mishap was the set of the beer glasses. One of them broke in shipment.
Yeah, and that can definitely be hard to avoid. I mean,
it's glass.
Yeah.
So made a ticket. They sent another set. So I got another set. Thankfully, only one of the glasses broke. So I still have all but one, except sadly it was my favorite one that broke. So I have kind of doubles of everything. The only problem is, even though it says wash by hand and not put in the dishwasher, the steckle on it comes off, so you have to be super, super gentle.
Oh, is that the beer steins?
Not the beer steins. It was the Hearthstone beer glasses.
Okay. I remember seeing those. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard. It's stuff like that, especially with the glass. It can be hard to keep that stuff on.
I posted what they are.
So what did you think of them adding in items that normally would have been exclusive only to San Diego Comic-Con and putting them on the gear store so more people have access to it?
I like it, only because for people who aren't able to go like me, I have the option, and I really like the Hearthstone ice cream Citadel theme. Love the commercial. So I would totally buy the shirt if it was a tank top.
I'm trying not to go right now to gear.blizzard.com and buy it, but I think it's great because, one, if it sells out there, it'd be great. It's also great because like I'm always saving up for, like, last year was my first BlizzCon where I actually made sure to have the money ready for it, and then I bought, like, the Merloha Hawaiian shirt. Add the cart.
Yeah, I like it. I think there's still an item or two that is exclusive to the show. Like, I don't have a problem when they do that. I know some people are upset. To me, I think it's nice when there's something, kind of special you can get when you travel to go somewhere. But opening a lot of the items up, I don't know. I think it's nice. And it makes sense for them because it just means that they're going to sell more stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fine with, let's say, have a collectible pin or something kind of minor that is special there, so those people can say, "Hey, I got this here." But like in the past, they used to do like stuffies. Like one of the whelplings was only a special one that it wasn't a whelpling. It was, I think, the fairy drake. Oh, I can't remember. But it was only could get it at I think a Comic-Con or something like that. And I was frustrated because I'm like, I can't get that. I can't go there. And now I have to try and find someone to buy it there and then ship it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even getting it there means you're probably having to sit in a line for like 8 hours.
Exactly. So, and a lot of people don't want to wait in line. Sorry, my boyfriend's dying in the background.
That was one thing. Have either of you been to BlizzCon?
No, I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, I want to go, but I've only been there virtually.
Me too. As soon as they got a virtual ticket, I have done it. And I like the fact that the people who get the virtual tickets can actually buy the loot package.
Yeah, well, in the in-game items.
Really nice. But I was going to say one thing I was really impressed because I went last year was, I know people get upset that it's hard to get tickets, but it was really nice because I went to Star Wars Celebration when that was in Anaheim. And by the second day, it was so hard to just walk around the convention floor. Like, you just felt crushed with people. And I remember at one point eventually I went outside because I couldn't even really look at anything. There were so many people jammed in there. But at BlizzCon, I never felt that way. Like, you always had space to walk around. You never felt like you were, in a mob of people. So I think it's good that they limit the tickets because then if you do get a ticket, you've got a much better experience. You don't feel like you're having to rush through everything.
Yeah.
I totally for limiting things after my experience with Disney World, even with my local Playland. It's an amusement park. I feel that they sell way too many tickets and it's too busy and you don't enjoy it. You don't have fun. So I'm all for limiting tickets.
Continue check out. Yeah, and I remember they were trying to figure out adding more tickets because they wanted to make sure before they said, "Hey, we're going to add more tickets," that they didn't want people to be all crowded. I mean, So it's definitely. I'm glad that they're more cautious. Because like San Diego Comic-Con, I've seen the pictures, and I'm like, I would not want to go to that. I mean, it'd be fun to go, but I wouldn't want to go for all the things that they have there, and all the lines.
Yeah, when you spend half your time sitting in a line, that's not a lot of fun.
No, and you find out half the panels online. I mean,
yeah, and even like I went to some of the bigger panels, and I didn't get a front row seat because I didn't go like an hour early. But I would walk in. I walked into a couple of them when they were already going, and I still got a seat, a decent enough seat where I could see everything. And it seemed like it was really the perfect balance because they still had enough people where the live, the Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, those areas were full of people watching it happen live. But then, like I said, whatever you wanted to look at, you could walk around. And I like to take a lot of pictures when I do something like that. And usually you're fighting, you're trying to snap a picture or something, and you got people walking back and forth in front of you. And I never had that problem. I was taking pictures of statues, and they had both of the choppers there, and I was able to get, even a video walking around the entire platform. And it's, there aren't people jammed around me the whole time.
Your order has been received. Thank you for your purchase. You'll receive an order confirmation.
Congratulations.
Okay, so what did you just buy?
The ice cream Citadel. I just, that's the one I've been wanting to buy. And then when you talk about it, like, I gotta.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I was like, I gotta get that. I just gotta. I like t-shirts. I mean, that's why I already have a Winter Veil t-shirt designed for Winter Veil / holiday designed for Frazzlecast as a t-shirt, because I'm like, for me, t-shirts are the one thing that I buy a lot of. I've got probably over 200.
I have a closet full of t-shirts, and I've been meaning to turn them all into tank tops because I don't wear t-shirts. I absolutely hate t-shirts, but tank tops, I live and die in them.
Like for me,
I spend a lot of time on what's that website? Jinx. Jinx has really good Warcraft t-shirts also.
yeah.
I have the Warlocks sweater from that store. My best friend got it for me for Christmas one year.
One of my favorite things to wear in the winter is again, I'm saying this because I've only been back in WoW since last year, but we had a pretty cold early part of the year, and so I wore one of the Alliance hoodies. I got the Horde version back when I was playing the Horde. Then I kind of moved over to the Alliance, so I had to buy the Alliance one, and the Horde one's been in the closet since. But it just the Alliance one, it has like little cuffs for your thumb, so that way you can kind of keep your hand a little bit more warm.
That hoodie's awesome. Like I have that. I've got that one, and I've got the heavier one with the it's got the yellow line on the back.
Oh, nice!
Both of them are really nice.
I was looking at that one.
I have the jumper, the Alliance jumper,
Nice.
which I absolutely love. I've worn it to work, and people thought it was Harry Potter because it's a lion's head, and I'm like, no, wrong color. That would be like a burgundy and gold. This is blue and gold.
Nice. I got the Explorer hoodie for my birthday. And that one's.
I remember that.
It's very comfortable. I'm impressed with everything that I've bought from the Blizzard and gotten from the Blizzard store. And I have like one of the Murlocs that's sitting on my desk. The orange one. I got the orange one that's sitting on my desk.
I also got the Hearthstone tank top because they ran out of the Alliance tank top, and I have to say I really like the material and it's very comfy. I'm just sad that they no longer have it on the Blizzard store.
Yeah, probably either out of stuff. The one shirt I want, but it sounds like you can't get it unless you work for Blizzard. On some of the live streams, they have an amazing button down shirt with I think it either fell on it, but it's a really cool shirt that they wear on some of the YouTube videos. I want that, but I was reading you can't get it. It's like I went to Universal to Dr. Seuss Land. They have a Hawaiian shirt that is some of the trees of Dr. Seuss. So it's like And I keep checking eBay for Dr. Seuss employee shirts, and none have popped up because I own a couple Apple's shirts. No one heard that. No one heard that. Now I'm gonna have somebody. Oh, okay. Sorry, they're coming for me now. But yeah, the gear store is amazing. We've been talking about the gear store for the past like 20 minutes just because it's.
Well, it's the product. Even the quality that they do is really good. I think I've had a few bad stitches, but the Blizzard's gear stuff is actually pretty well made. Even the Jinx store, I wish I had more money because I would spend it all.
I'm glad that they don't add as many items as Final Fantasy. Square Enix, because I used to be a Final Fantasy 14 player, and Square Enix has a tendency, everything they put in their store for Final Fantasy 14 has a minion with it. So when I was playing it, I owned everything that you could buy from the store that had a minion on it. So I'm actually glad Blizzard's a little less, let's put a minion on it. Because otherwise I don't know a lot more.
Yeah, I don't think I bought my nephew the Griffin because I try to get him, get geekiness into his head early. So I got him the Griffin, but I kept the pet coat, of course.
Yeah, and there's stitches. Ooh, that is cool, Emma. I see your blanket.
Yeah, that's the first blanket I've ever made, and each year I add another color for my nephew's birthday. I still have to add one for his last birthday in December.
But that's cool, and yeah, I can see because finding the time and finding this because to get it at, because the more you move out, the more you got to sew on.
The bigger it is, my sister's actually telling me to do smaller strips of color because it's really, really big.
Yeah, but by the time they're 50, you'll be like moving all the way around it. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. So when dead heroes or villains go to Hero of the Storm, did you hear that Garrosh Hellscream is going to Heroes of the Storm?
Unfortunately,
no,
yes.
Yeah.
So no one plays it, just the NPCs, and we kick its ass.
Yep. Absolutely. And we can finally.
Yeah, I'll have to jump on there and pick Varian just to kill him with Varian.
No, who I want to be is can you play as Thrall? Oh yeah, you can play as Thrall. I want to relive the Warlords of Draenor cinematic because that was cool.
I really hate Garrosh.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone likes Garrosh.
Maybe Garrosh. Like his Garrosh?
No, I don't even think he likes himself.
True. You made me this way. No, you chose this. And have any of you played Necromancer in Diablo 3?
No, because I didn't buy the expansion. I have it free.
I've played it a little bit, but then I figured I would just wait until the season starts to really get into it. So I think this weekend I'm probably going to start playing it some more.
Nice.
But I had a lot of fun. The little bit that I played, it seems a little bit overpowered, but that's what makes it so much fun. Just blowing up all the corpses and taking everything down with them.
I got to play it because I own it on PS4 and Mac, the Necromancer pack, and I need to sit down and play it because it looks really cool. And
it's fun.
Go ahead.
I like Diablo, but as with most games, I play, whether it's Diablo or Overwatch, I'll play it for a week or two, and then I just go right. I never stop playing WoW, but I just go back to putting all my gaming time into Warcraft.
Same. It amazes me that there's a following for each of these games, and some of the people on those will play a little bit of WoW or have not played WoW. I mean, that just blows my mind. And I'm sitting here like
I like games that are kind of free-ish. So I have played Heroes of the Storm, but like I said, I can do 5 games and then I'm bored.
Yeah, I had to play Heroes to get Graves, the combat pet, back when they were doing the Flame Saber. I got the Flame Saber mount. So I was like, I want the pet. So I basically spent, it felt like a month, but it was like at least a week or two. But I kept playing it, and I was so glad to be done with it. When I got the pet, I was like, yay, no more Heroes. And then I felt bad. One of my friends was like, hey, do you want to play Heroes? I was like, I just got done with a huge marathon of Heroes. I'm sorry, I want to play some WoW.
I did the same thing when they had the mount.
And thankfully with that, I was able to catch up on, I was able to make friends. I've still got a lot of people on my friends list who I don't even know. I added them and I forgot to remove them after the event. Who knows? Maybe.
What people have been doing now, so you don't have to do that, is basically you have them give you their toon name dash whatever their server is, and you just do a /invite, copy and paste that.
Over in Heroes?
Oh, no, I'm thinking of World of Warcraft, sorry.
Yeah, over in Heroes, they had friends where like you had to play like 10 rounds with a friend to get like there was the Flame Saber mount, and so
I remember that.
I added friends to my friends list, and now I don't know. I've been adding notes now to every friend on my friends list to make sure that I know who's my friend. And I haven't seen Lady Emma log in for a while. I have to ask where they are.
I know the other issue that I run into that prevents me from, I mean, aside from the amount of time that I spend playing WoW, the other thing that I run into that kind of discourages me is I just don't feel like putting the time into learning to play properly, because it's like, you put so much time into WoW learning to play your class and hunting things down and collecting things. I just don't feel like having to dig deep into Heroes to learn how to really, really play it. So I just play it casually. Same with Diablo. Like I don't completely understand how you get gear in Diablo or how you chase specific things down, but I also just don't feel like researching it and putting the time into it. I just kind of treat it as something I jump on and play mindlessly for a little bit.
Same, yeah. And that's why I came back to WoW. I was like, I'm gonna focus on WoW, because I always struggle with every new game I buy on Steam or something. I always like, there's that learning curve. I'm like, I'm done for right now. Other learning curves. I'm just gonna do WoW.
I like playing games that are fun and that I can do. So that's why I like World of Warcraft, because I can actually do that. I finally understand the majority of it. Theorycraft, not my thing. I'll let someone else do that and just tell me.
Same.
Diablo, I wanted to get into it for the story. What else? Hearthstone. I'm just not that good at it. So I didn't get far. And I thought that game I would actually play a lot too.
Yeah.
But when I get games from Steam, they're all logic puzzles. Those are the games I kind of grab to, or the point and click type thing.
So like probably more like the adventure games, not like the walking simulators, but the actual point and click adventures.
Yeah, kind of like how Myst and River kind of are, where you have to click and try and figure out a way through, but they're more for children. So sometimes you have games where you have to match things or find items or do mahjong, or but you have to kind of figure out how to get through the game by either building stuff, or I'll do the hard core logic puzzles, where there's one which is a peg game where you have, I think, 3 or 4, I think it's 3, no, 4 pegs on either side, and there's only one space in the middle, and you have to jump over the pegs, but you can't jump over the same color.
Oh, I remember we did this in camp. Oh, those were insane. And at this coding camp,
They're fun.
I'm gonna play one of those, because at the coding camp I found the app called Tinker, and I think Tinker is available on Android, And Tinker's kind of like that, right? I had to like do logic. Like I can only jump here, I can only do this, and actually I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna start doing some of those logic games.
At my work, because I don't think a lot at work, I actually have a logic puzzle book where you have it. You can make a grid if you want, and a grid makes it easier. Where you have 5 people, and you're trying to figure out what color's their house, what's their favorite drink, and what pet do they own. And they give you short description of each, saying, well, this person lives beside the yellow house, and then you find a little later on that the yellow house is on the left side of this other person, and you kind of have to figure out all this stuff, and I don't know, it makes you think.
Yeah, and some of those I don't do so well at. Like I tried playing Professor Layton, and I'm not good at that. Well, I think the barkeep is telling me that, because I just saw what time it is, I think the barkeep's telling me that it's time for us to head on out, unless you guys have anything else that you wanted to add in for this episode.
No, I'm good.
I just noticed that you have a Frazzlecast poll results. Do you want to quickly talk about that?
Oh, absolutely. Let me pull up that. Yeah. I should have had this open. Okay, this one was on. Okay, I was asking if World of Warcraft were to add ships, because we kind of discussed in the last episode the possibility of ships, and I said, would you like that? I tried to find a poll that wasn't too weighted, but at least would give people's opinion. And out of 76 votes, that impressed me how many people actually voted on the poll. 61% said yes, and 39% said no.
I was a no. I'm sorry.
You don't want ships, like airships or water ships?
All I'm thinking is around Ice Crown Citadel, there's 2 ships. One was a Horde, one was an Alliance, and you had to fly to them or to get on them. And I just remember always accidentally going on the Horde ship instead of the Alliance ship and dying.
Okay, so bad experience on that. Sours you on ships.
But I will admit, on the Broken Shore, where we have all the new, or was new, area, and before flying was out, there was these flying discs, and I remember jumping on these flying discs and flying to the ships that was up above, and I'm like, ooh, I want to be on these ships. So, they're cool, but they leave nightmares as well.
Oh, so I didn't think about spaceships. So yeah, spaceships, airships, and water ships. I found when we were doing Converge Shenanigans, we were doing a hide and seek at Stormwind. Near Stormwind Park, there is a little boat. It's very small, but it was added. We think it was added when they added the monument to Anduin. So I'm wondering if that's just a little teaser of Blizzard saying, "Oh, look at this little boat. You might." Where does this little boat come from? Or it could just be a boat, but it go right behind the Stormwind Memorial. It's right there. Oh, and Minty. This one I didn't even think about this. Minty said for ships, Wrathion X Anduin OTP. I was like, and I didn't. I forgot in fandom, there's the idea of shipping. So, what do you think, Lady Eva?
I actually have no clue what that means. All I know is Raphion's mine.
Basically, shipping is when you apparently in fan fiction and fandom is when you put 2 characters together. So, like, there's been Malfoy and Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. Well, I already knew there was Wrathion and Anduin love interest.
So yeah. So Minty.
But Raphion's still mine.
Okay. So
he's like more like a child because he's too young for anything more.
So
come on, he's like only maybe 8 now, maybe 8.
Anduin or Wrathion?
Wrathion.
He doesn't look. He doesn't look that young in the picture.
During a Miss of Pandaria, he was only 4.
Oh, wow.
He's a baby.
He's a big baby. Oh, and
He's a smart baby, but he's a baby.
hey, it shows people can be pretty smart when they're young. And Thunk the Peon had one of my favorite responses. Maybe not because then Thunk would have to build them. So yeah, Thunk, if there's ships, we'll make sure that you are a captain of your own ship and you don't have to ever build one. And then Every said only if they were to add these. It's a ship, shipping, shipping ships. Say that 5 times fast. But yeah, I'm hoping that there's ships, because I like the pirate games and stuff like that, and I think it'd be fun to bring out more Blood Sail, bring out some more of the pirate stuff, and just be able to visit more stuff.
As long as it doesn't get rid of my rep that I worked really hard with the Blood Sail Buccaneers and the Goblin Race. I worked really hard to be exalted with both. So, Jer, what's your opinion on the ships?
I think I voted for it because I didn't even think of the airships, actually. I was thinking more of water ships, which I thought that would be kind of cool. Because I do like I've got the raft that you can fish off of. So I like using that. So it'd be neat if we could have ships.
Well,
well, there's a trinket that you can use to be a ship in Thousand Needles.
Yeah, that's true.
For a boat day, yeah. And yeah, I like the one over in I lost my thought. Oh, Arcade. I was thinking of Arcade because Arcade had ship battles, and so does Black Desert Online. I thought it'd be pretty cool to add that. And I mean, WoW's been a game that I've always wished would have stuff like that.
Airships, if they ever put those in, I would hope they would also have a way for you to get shot down.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, especially like the PvP. Imagine that you're just flying through.
Okay, you can get shot down, but you get a parachute so you don't die.
Nah.
I'm on a parachute. Unless I'm on a PvP realm, that's totally different. I'm not on a PvP realm, so at least give me a parachute.
Honor talent. You get a separate honor tree when you're flying, and then one of the talents is parachute. So then while you're flying down,
you at least have to click it yourself and activate it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'll put it as the oh shit button.
Well, thank you both for joining. We can find Jer at Jer Plays WoW. Is that your new Twitter?
Yeah, for this week. We'll see if I keep it. I've just been messing around on Twitter trying to figure out something that works. I know I had switched it for my warrior character, but now I'm playing the warlock, and I occasionally jump on other characters and post pictures when I'm playing as them. So I thought maybe I'll just make it just kind of be a general WoW account for all my characters.
Yeah, when I signed up for Twitter, I made mine at Frazley-tastic because Frazley was taken and all that. And I've thought about changing at some point, but I'm like, for part of it, it's Frazley-tastic's growing on me. But the other thing is, I'd be afraid of now all the links that would break for me.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the one thing I wish Twitter could have, would be like redirects, but then everybody would just buy all the names and have them redirect each other.
Yeah, I'm just using the same Twitter I've been using since I got Twitter many, many moons ago, and didn't really start using it until Twitterland rating, which they no longer exist. But it was a group of people that did achievement runs for the old raids way back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how I actually got really involved with Twitter and found out how big the World of Warcraft community is.
Yeah, I've been finding all of my all my friends and stuff on Twitter. I mean, it's amazing the people I find on Twitter. There is a discussion like, how do you find what's good? And part of it, sometimes I go on there and I hope that whatever I see is going to be good, because there's just so much on Twitter. It's hard to see everything. And Lady Emma, you're at Lady Emma.
At Lady_Emma.
I will get that one of these weeks. I will get the. I forgot the dash, but I forgot the underscore, because I've called it a dash before.
Well, you're getting better. Don't worry. When I first started telling people what it was, I would just say at Lady Emma, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have an underscore in there. So at Lady_Emma. And
definitely follow Lady Emma and Jer, because there's some great tweets on there, and I always enjoy seeing them. But sometimes I'll tweet I'll like it from the. I follow them on both of the accounts, and sometimes I'll like something. I'm like, oh wait, I'm on the wrong account.
I will pre-warn everyone, it's not always PG. I do tweet everything and anything, and you will see everything and anything on it. I should probably make it a rated R Twitter. I really should.
Or make another one, and then just from that point on put all the stuff on that, because I've seen some people do that.
Yeah, it's After Dark is what they usually call it.
Yeah.
But I just like one Twitter account.
Well, and sometimes it's easier having just one, because I've got multiple, and it's hard to keep track.
I have a hidden one, but people don't go to that one.
Yeah, I like having two, just to keep. I like all my video game stuff in one spot, because when I'm in that mood, I don't want it. I just want to have fun with video game stuff and not have my Twitter feed, have all the other real world problems interjected into it.
Yeah, I haven't even told all my friends don't even know that I'm in. I'm telling specific ones that I'm doing a podcast, but I haven't told that many, because part of it is I have to explain that I play World of Warcraft. Because maybe when I say World of Warcraft, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." So it's just like, yeah, I'll just I'll keep Frazley and keep the other me.
There you go.
Well, thank you all for coming out and listening to the podcast out there. If you're listening live, somebody was listening live, and then if you're listening to this on the podcast, have a great rest of your day. If you're listening in the morning, have a great rest of your night if you're listening in the night. And don't forget, Lady Emma has lock cookies.
My lovely saying, don't forget to eat my lock cookies.
And Jer is playing a Warlock, so he has lock cookies too. So you have multiple places.
But mine. You have to have mine.
Now you can see like lemonade stands across the street. Buy mine, they're better. But mine has more bars and more places.
Yeah, except mine actually trade souls with you and you get brand new fresh souls, never been used, for my lock cookies.
I want those. Unless JR has something better.
Nah, I'm a novice.
Okay.
Warlock. I don't know what I'm doing yet.
So then later on, when Lady Emma's no longer innovating her lock cookies, you can come in and come out with like a new version of lock cookies.
Well, see, I have mint flavored lock cookies with chocolate chips, and then I have key lime cream cheese cookies, and
I'm hungry.
You just want mine.
I'm hungry now. I'm gonna go eat ice cream. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Frazzlecast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment. Views expressed by the host and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended.